there. Welcome to the AskFaris show, and I'm so excited about today's guest. Today, I have Mrs. Shayla Trawick. Guys, if you don't know Shayla, you're probably lost in the dark somewhere. Shayla is an entrepreneur who is on fire, and I'm so excited about having her on my show today. So first of all, Shayla, I would like to welcome you to the show, and then I would like for you to go through and tell our audience just a little bit about yourself, all right?
Okay, cool. Hey everybody, my name is Shayla Trawick. You guys, just like Vera said, I think I'm all over social media because I just love people. And what better way than to connect? Everybody has a smartphone, a laptop, a computer. So it's like, hey, why not just one click of a button and you're exposing yourself? Super excited. A privilege to be here, Ferris.
Oh man, it's just a pleasure having you. So Shayla, just tell a little bit about yourself, where you're from, family, etc., if you don't mind.
Awesome. I am from historic Milledgeville, Georgia. I love it. This is home, born and raised. If you guys don't know what Milledgeville is, Milledgeville used to be the original capital of Georgia. So there's so much history here, so much culture. And I think being from a small town, and it is a small town now, ironically, even though it used to be the capital, but it is so warm. It is so just, family oriented. I think if you go to any corner of Milledgeville, somebody's related to somebody on the other side. So I love that.
Exactly. And one thing I would like to say, Shayla has a beautiful family and just a warm heart. And again, if you haven't followed her on Facebook, you have to do that, because not only she's just an emerging social media influencer, but also she is an entrepreneur. Now, this young lady is an entrepreneur, and some of the words that she speaks, it just resonates with my spirit, and I've had to bring on to the show. So, Shayla, I want you to tell our audience about your entrepreneurial journey. I know it's not like right now everyone sees you as the most polished person, but I know it hasn't always been like that. So I want you to go through and kind of walk us through your journey. Just give us a little bit of a backstory on how you got started as an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneurism. How did Shayla get started? That's a beautiful story. It can be a hard story as well.
Yes.
Let's see. I actually, Ferris, started my entrepreneurial journey in high school.
Wow.
I was always obsessed with fashion, always just looking different, letting your outfits and ensembles introduce you before you come into the room. So I remember in high school, I started just like cutting my clothes and doing this, that, and the third. And everybody used to think I was weird, which I got the title most unique in high school.
Exactly.
Well, people loved it, and they actually started purchasing, paying me to cut up their clothes and to make things different, which was fun because it was just something I loved to do. So that's how I actually got started. But honestly and truthfully, it all started with my family watching. My family, I come from a large background of entrepreneurs.
Wow.
Cousins, aunts, uncles, my parents. Like, I remember my mom doing hair in the kitchen. There was always something to do. I've never, in my 32 years of life, heard my parents say they were bored.
Wow.
That's something that my parents always taught me. Grown-ups are never bored. If you're actually living life, there's always something to do, no matter how interesting it is to somebody else. So I watched my mother do hair. I watched my mother, plan events for people. I watched my brother, who is now, no longer with us. But my brother, same way. That entrepreneurism was just in our blood. It's in our DNA. Like when
So I'm gonna cut you off. So you became a product of your surroundings. So it was like you saw it. So it was innate. It was a natural. You were in your natural habitat.
Of course, like. One of my, mentors, is my big cousin, and she has been her own boss ever since I can remember.
Wow.
And she started doing hair, and watching her do hair was just so amazing. I am not a beautician, but all of my aunts and cousins on my dad's side, they all were, just had this gift to make things beautiful.
Wow.
I didn't want to do hair, but I knew I loved what I saw. When these women would come to them and they would just do them over, they'd leave with this just sense of empowerment.
Wow.
And as a kid, I wanted that. I wanted to do that for somebody. So my avenue was fashion. I use fashion to help people tap into that part of them that they normally don't show to people. Wow. Like your outfit is going to just like, boom, like, is it interesting? What made her wear that? Why did she mix that? And oh my God, it took off from there, Ferris. Like, I love it.
Wow. So and the thing is, you knew it. First of all, you used your product. You actually became your brand. You became what people talked about, and you were not afraid to step out of the norm. And I think that's one thing that entrepreneurs have to realize, that you cannot stay in a box as an entrepreneur. You have to be willing to go through and step out of. It's just like my little giraffe. I don't know, I'm gonna stop pointing at this thing on every interview, but all my interviews, I kind of look at the giraffe, and just like the giraffe stands out in the jungle, we must stand out as entrepreneurs. And what are you willing to do? Are you willing to go through and be different? Or are you willing to go through and be the same? And if you're the same, you're going to get the same results as everyone else. So you took your passion, you became a walking billboard. People became attracted to what you were doing. So that's how you actually started your first entrepreneurial journey. That's how you actually made money, actually just doing what you really love.
Absolutely. That fear. Let me tell you guys, I am a little person, okay, but I have a huge personality. Mm-hmm. And it was always difficult when you're down here. Like, that giraffe does stand out, because you know, Ferris, if I stand beside a giraffe, nobody will ever know. But guess what? That was the same way in real life. You know, walking the halls of high school, I was always the little person. So everybody knows little Shayla. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? Everybody knew that she was different. Yes. Everybody knew that, you know, no longer did I cower behind, you know, the fact that I was tiny. Mm-hmm. I just started being louder with my, with my fashion, with my style, with my sense of personality. And then it didn't matter. No longer were people just looking above me. They were looking down to see, what does she have on today? You know, what is different about her hair today? Mm-hmm. I mean, I just tried different things, you know. I love watching those old movies and just like costumes and stuff like that. So I never would admit to any look. It was just like, whatever I wake up and feel, that's what I want to display to the world.
Wow.
It makes me, you know, I feel like a unicorn today, so I'm colorful. Or I may feel like all business, so I'm just, you know, just dressed to the T. But that being afraid, I want to address that, because so many people are fearful of who they are originally created to be.
Yes.
Because I'm going to say this. I think most people are afraid because you've never seen you.
Wow.
That is why you don't know how to display it. And that was one of the things, even though I was surrounded by, you know, powerful women, powerful men, I had never seen a Shayla. So what I had to do was become what I wanted to see. If I wanted to see this big personality, guess what? I had to be it. If I wanted to see cut off jeans or this, that, and the third, I had to create it. So never be afraid to be who you are. That's what the world needs. I love individuals. I love running into people, you know, who are just going against the grain, just being who they are, because that's what life is. You know, that's what it's about.
And Shayla, one thing, because I know a lot of individuals that are actually looking at the show are either entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. And I know one thing you brought out really eloquently was the fear of actually being themselves, fear of actually stepping out. So has fear ever crippled you along the way, along your entrepreneurial journey?
God, yes. But I think my fear is a little different from other people's fears. I never fear trying. I am not afraid to take a risk. My fear, Ferris, would always come once my plan was in motion and things actually began to take place. When I start to see the things that I would dream about happen, that's when my fear kicked in.
Wow.
The fear of, how big is this going to get?
Wow.
The fear of, can I handle it when it becomes what I dream about? Those are my fears. I never fear the beginning. I don't even think I look at the beginning when I want to get started. You know, talk about my journey. I opened my first clothing boutique when I was 23, 24.
Wow.
No training, you guys. Didn't know anything. I just knew that there was a desire inside of me to speak to other individuals, you know, other women who loved expressing themselves through fashion. So, I prayed about it. I wrote it out and I grinded it out until it happened. You know, no business loans or anything like that. It was just me and my husband's money. And we did it. We made it happen.
Wow.
It was amazing.
And that's one thing I think you hit on another key point. Some people let fear cripple them from starting. other people let's fear cripple them from going to that next level, because it can be very fearful to go to that next level. What will people think about me? Do I have the support system? Do I have the foundation? Do I have the team? Do I have the wherewithal to go through and actually get to that next level? Hey, is $1 million that much outreach? It's a lot of things that actually go in the minds of many people. But one thing we must realize as entrepreneurs, as leaders, as individuals that are change agents in this world, is we cannot let the fear to start or the fear to grow actually cripple us. But Shayla, what I want to do, I want to take a quick 30-second commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to delve deep. I need you to go really deep to these entrepreneurs, because yes, you've actually, you started businesses, but I want people to know where you are today. You are a very, very successful entrepreneur, and you're changing so many lives through your message. And that's one thing I really want us to go through and actually delve deep in. So we're going to take a 30-second break, then we're going to come right back into it. All right?
Awesome.
All right. Hey there, this is Faris, and it looks like you may have clicked the link to find out a little bit about Project 13, and you may have a few more questions to see if it's a good fit for you. So what I'm doing is I'm allowing you to schedule a one-on-one phone call with me before you actually sign up to become a Project 13 participant to see if we'll be a good fit. So please feel free to click the link below to schedule a one-on-one call to tell me a little bit about your business, and I'll tell you a little bit about Project 13 to see if we'll be a good fit so that we can help you achieve your growth goals in 2017. All right, we are back. Again, I'm with Shayla Trawick, entrepreneur, social media influencer, and just an amazing young lady as well. So we're back, and just like we were talking on the break, Shayla, I was just saying so many people use so many excuses from actually starting their business, growing their business. They use fear. They use not having resources. So my thing is, Shayla, what information can you give to individuals that are right now that may be stuck, that may have an idea, but they're putting it off to tomorrow, or they may say, you know what, I don't have the resources. What can you say to them right now?
Start today, because tomorrow will never catch up to yesterday. For the simple fact of, we all know tomorrow's not promised. So if you have a desire inside of you right now, and if you feel like you can meet that need, like, that is where all great businesses start. Somebody saw that there was a need and they decided to meet it. So ask yourself this question, what question can I answer with my service? What can I do with the things that are inside of me to make the world a little better? See, a lot of people want this bigness. Like, that used to be me. Never dreamed small, always dreamed big. And I did that simply for knowing that if I'm shooting for the stars, then guess what? I'm going to be above the earth, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to always be, above where I started. And I think that's where you have to, really begin and ask yourself, what question am I going to answer with my service? How can this help people become better people? I think if you're chasing money, just stop. Get a job. For the simple fact is, if you're chasing money, you'll never be consistent. Your message won't be congruent with your actions.
Yes.
For the simple fact is, somebody could present you with a different opportunity today, and all of the people that trusted you with the last opportunity are going to be like, well, what happened?
Wow.
So you have to really know your why. And I think when people hear that, they're like, well, my why is I want this house, or I want this car, or I want this lifestyle. I really just want to share with you guys, I am, oh my God, a devout believer, and I trust God and I trust the universe. And when you seek serving first, all of these other things are added unto you. The Bible teaches us that. So I operate off of that principle and that principle alone. And the thing that I've noticed is, and I will be honest with you guys, I have chased money before, okay? Chased it and lost people. I chased it and lost life. Like, really, I lost portions of myself.
Wow.
And the pursuit of something that is fiat. Money is a fiat currency.
Yes.
People need to understand that. You think about when you get paid, you just see those numbers in the bank, but you never actually touch it. And you're operating off of numbers.
Wow.
So life is the same way. How many times are you willing to put yourself in the game? How many times are you willing to get uncomfortable to create your comfort? And I think dreaming big for a lot of people and them not willing to start is an excuse.
And right there, so I think so many times, and I'm going to raise my hand on this, so many times we get the dreams, we get the visions, and sometimes we're fearful of them because it's like that life is made for someone else. Or, hey, I was born on the wrong side of the track. Or, hey, just like, hey, I was born in Milledgeville, Georgia. I was born in a small town. You have to be born in Hollywood. You have to be in New York. You have to be in Atlanta to achieve greatness like that, because no one from my city, no one from my side of town actually does that. And I think that's one thing that people have to realize, that we are paradigm shift makers. We break the paradigm shift. Someone has to be the first. And that's one thing I always thought, like, well, why can't I be the first X, Y, and Z? Why can't I be the first person to do this as well? And I think that's one thing. I look at you and I look at your direction that you're going in your business, and I see a lot of paradigm shifts in your business. I see a lot of glass ceilings that have been broken as well. And what's one piece of advice that you would give to an entrepreneur who's on the journey right now? Because Shayla, they're about to quit. They're about to throw in the towel. They said, hey, it didn't work. I wasted my money. Hey, my wife doesn't believe in it. My husband doesn't believe in it. Hey, it doesn't look right. What piece of advice can you give them to encourage them to say, don't give up? Don't go back to what you used to. What piece of advice can you give to them right now?
I want them to go to the nearest window and look at trees. For the simple fact is, those trees had no choice in where they were going to be planted. So they knew they were created to be trees. Mm-hmm. So what they did was they bloomed where they were planted. So that's why Milledgeville is my heart. For the simple fact is, no, you don't see this. No, you don't see, people that look like me doing the things that I'm doing. And you take those trees, consider yourself a seed. Wow. You are a seed. Wherever you are, get rooted. Get rooted, because you're going to become what you're intended to be if you stay the course. Wow. That means that if you go to Lowe's or one of these nurseries and you buy a plant and you come home and you plant it, that plant had no idea who was going to purchase it. But that plant is still going to do what it was created to do. Turn into a beautiful flower. It is going to be everything that it was created to be. Wow. And that is my message to you. Bloom where you're planted. And the thing about it is, look at gardens. I love flower beds. My mom's a florist. Mm-hmm. And you see all these different flowers. She plants so many different things, but when they all turn into what they were created to be together, it is magnificent.
Wow.
That is what I see in my city. I see so many people who were planted in Milledgeville, and they're blooming. They're bringing all of these big city ideas here. Wow. So that children and our youth can have that vision. And that's what you have to remember. Somebody has to start. And you can't wait for the next person to do it if it's in you to do it. Don't be afraid of people talking about you. Don't be afraid of people not supporting you, because newsflash, you're going to have to be the support that you need. Wow. You're going to have to be consistent. People laugh when I say no support is the only support that I need, for the simple fact of, if I don't believe me, if I don't trust me, if I don't agree with the vision, why do I expect somebody else to do it? Mm-hmm. Why would I want you to support that? Because I'm not sure of it. Wow. You operate in consistency.
And pause right there. If you don't support yourself, why would someone else support your vision as well? I believe in action steps. I believe that showing that you really support your vision, your dream, your what has been entrusted in you, you're investing in yourself. And it's not all about investing in the finances, but you're actually being a steward. You're going through and learning about your craft. You're not just saying, hey, it's just like if I wanted to go through and actually get a license to drive a truck, an 18-wheelers, I can say it all I want. But unless I put some action behind it and actually go to the courses and actually get the certification, then take the test, because a test will be actually administered. And that's when anything, entrepreneur, whatever, take the test and pass the test. Don't give up on test day. Don't get to the test and say, you know what? Oh my gosh, that's difficult, and walk away. But take the test, pass the test, and then go after what you want. And it only gets better as the test is actually as accomplished and passed. And that's one thing I really want people to realize, that we can only talk so much about it. You have to put action behind it. You have to go through. We're in a global economy. We have access to YouTube, Facebook, Google. We're able to go through and research, create, and develop things out of thin air. It's not 1932 anymore. It's 2017. And the only excuse with an individual, if they cannot succeed in 2017, is if they're not willing to succeed in 2017.
I'm going to tell you something that was just in my spirit. Starting over is honorable. Quitting because it got tough is cowardly, okay?
Wow.
That is because nothing is easy. Anything worth having, you're going to have to work. Faith without works is dead. It says, show me your faith with words, and I'll show you mine with action.
Wow.
That is what people have to embed in their spirit. Because how dare you get upset for lack of support when you're not acting? I don't care if it's the smallest thing. Show people that you believe in you. And the people who believe in themselves will begin to gravitate towards you. But see, we don't understand we're energy. And we're attracting, like attracts like, and light attracts light.
Wow.
If you are light, if you are speaking life over your situation, keep your mouth off of other people's, focus on you, be the best version of you, give your best daily. That is when people who are doing the same, they're going to be like, you know what? I see this young man, you know, he's consistent, he's professional, and professional doesn't look like it looked when we were growing up watching TV, okay? You guys, again, we're in 2017. It's going to look like somebody who is serious about their craft. It is going to look like somebody who knows what they have their hands on, and they know the question they're intending to answer with their service. That is professionalism, okay? That is making sure that your message is congruent across the table. It's not, you know, lukewarm. It's not, you know, it's either hot or cold.
Yes.
Like, let's be serious. It's hot or cold. And information is free. I'm just going to, be honest with you guys. Anything that can change your life is free.
Yes.
I think people don't understand that. And free always gets overlooked. But you know why, Ferris?
Why?
Because free is expensive.
Yes.
Time is the only thing you can never get back, okay? And to get free information, guess what you have to do?
What's that?
Apply action. So that's why free is expensive, and people can't afford it.
Wow.
You know, they don't want to invest to get free. And it doesn't take anything but your time and your focus. So many people don't know how to focus.
Wow.
They're this all the time. They're hopping. You're not a bunny.
All right, Shayla, I wanted to ask you another question before we get off, because I see you, you're on Facebook, on social media a lot, talking about health. And I understand that as entrepreneurs, sometimes we just neglect our health. That's the last thing we think about. So why are you so passionate about health right now, especially as an entrepreneur? You own multiple businesses. Why are you so passionate about health right now?
Because my health is my wealth. I'm passionate about my health because everything that I do for my family. I do to create, you know, I was just raised like this. A wise man creates wealth for his children's children. Who doesn't want to be around to see those people enjoy these things, you know? And if we're not healthy, if we're not taking care of ourselves, really, this grind that you say you're in, this hustle mode that you're in, is in vain. Because you're going to, I look at it like this, Ferris. If I'm not taking care of my temple, everything that I'm doing is for what? Yeah. Everything I'm doing is for what? Yeah. Because I'm not going to stick around to enjoy it. And if we understand business plans and we understand pushing forward, you want to see that thing through. So if I'm unhealthy laying in the hospital, you know how irritating that's going to be to try to get somebody to feel as passionate about my passion as I do?
Shayla, when you were just talking about this, and I know we're both from Milledgeville, and in the last few years, we suffered the loss of a few prominent physicians in the Milledgeville area, and some of them were due to health-related issues as well. It is so important. It's so important. No matter what degrees you have, no matter what path you're on, career path you're on, whatever, if you don't have health, you don't have anything. And my thing is, we go after all of these shiny objects. We go and try to purchase the largest car, the biggest house, the blingiest everything. But if we don't have health, what do we have? What profit do we have at the end to go through and serve all these individuals, and we transition early? And it's because it's something that we could actually have taken advantage of. We could have actually caught early as well. I think what you're doing right now is a huge service to our communities out here, and really pushing a message of health and nutrition is something that we really need in our communities as well. So Shayla, before we leave, my thing is, I want individuals to understand that. It really hit me during our conversation that, hey, it doesn't matter all the money you make. It doesn't matter all the whatever you can acquire. If you don't have health, what do you have?
You have absolutely nothing but a bunch of bills. I'm going to be honest. You're going to be paying people to try to fix you and keep you here, which is crazy. When every day you wake up, you can prevent a lot of these things. I have longevity in my family, you guys. My grandmother will be 100 in August.
Wow.
You know, February, I just buried my great-grandmother. She was 102.
Wow.
So, you guys, you have to take care of yourselves. And don't rely on other people to do this for you. This is your body. I look at my body as, if I want to be able to look cute in clothes, I need to take care of my body.
Yes.
If I want to be there for my children, I have to take care of my body. If I want to be the best version of Shayla, if I want to encourage other people, how many of you are taking advice from somebody who is sickly? Like, seriously. Mm-hmm. How many of you, somebody that you watch just tear their temple down, somebody that you watch negate the fact that I have children, I have a spouse, I have a family, and I'm just going to just tear this temple down. You know, as youth, you know, we do a lot of stupid things, but what I'm really passionate about is showing people simplicity, because I think the lies have gotten so loud with people saying it's expensive to eat healthy, it's expensive to take care of yourself. No. You know what's expensive? Co-pays, doctor's visits.
Yes.
Those things are expensive. Preventing those things is not expensive. You know, I wear my nutrition, which is amazing, and I love it. I was one who, I was on a path of taking care of myself. I let life get in the way and I started making excuses, and I started to not take care of myself. Was I making good money? Yes. Was I feeling terrible? Yes. It was kind of like, boom, Shayla, what's the point of having this money if you can't enjoy it?
Yes.
What's the point of working so hard and you're tired, you can't enjoy it?
Wow.
You see these ads and you see people living life. Those people are usually in good shape. They're taking care of themselves. And I think about, you know, these nice restaurants, and people are like, you paid $200 for that little bit of food. You don't need a gallon of food to feel great. You don't need it. So, I mean, I look at those things, and it takes an eloquent person to understand and appreciate simplicity. Natural is simple, and I think that's what people have to really grasp here.
Wow, wow, wow. And that's one thing I really want our audience to realize. Shayla has dropped so many golden nuggets today, from her entrepreneurial journey to her passion in fashion and health and nutrition. I want individuals to realize that you can live your best life. And this is just an inspiration for individuals who think that they can't. People who think that, okay, well, just because this is my current situation, that's going to be how it ends as well. That's not how it is going to end. I think, Shayla, you've dropped so many golden nuggets, and I cannot wait to get you back on the show, because, oh my gosh, I know we've talked about some few things, and you have some things that's coming up that I'm blown away. I am simply blown away, and I'm so excited. And I want individuals to be able to reach out to you. So Shayla, how can my listeners reach out to you? Do you have a IG, Facebook? How can they reach out to you?
Yes. Facebook is amazing to reach out to me. I am listed as Shayla, which is Shayla Trawick, Trawick. I am on Instagram as Joe Couture, and that is my brand for my clothing. But you're going to see everything. What I love about my social media is you're going to see family. Yes. You're going to see finances. You're going to see fitness. You're going to see faith. Because it's going to take all of those things to make you the best version of yourself. One thing I got to tell you guys, that the only reason somebody can't is because they won't. The only reason you can is because you won't. Like, get rid of excuses. Remember that the same person that you dream about daily can be the person that you see daily if you put forth the effort. So don't be afraid to push yourself. Don't be afraid to be talked about, because when you begin to bloom where you're planted, guess what? Trees, I'm looking out of my window right now. Trees are surrounded by other life. Wow. And the dead trees are laying down. So just look at your life that way. The life that you attract to you is going to stand tall beside you. And the things that need to die will die off without you having to do a thing. Wow. Keep your roots planet. Keep faith in yourself. Get along with yourself sometimes, you know, and really ask yourself, is this what I want to do? Before we leave, Faris, I'm going to tell you a pivotal moment in my life and my career just took place at Hancock Central's graduation.
Mm-hmm.
Their valedictorian, I think his name was Sam Mayweather. He gave the most phenomenal speech.
Wow.
And he asked his peers, as they transition from children to adults and into the community, don't do things simply for money. Whatever you pursue, make sure that it impacts the world. So, I mean, that stuck with me.
Wow.
And I mean, from a child. But that's exactly what we need to hear. Anybody who's on here and you're stuck right now, ask yourself, why are you doing what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can tell you, I was always stuck when I was doing it for money. But now that I do it simply for my love of people and wanting to leave this world better than it was when I got here, there is no limit to anything that I want. There is no salary cap on greatness. There is no salary cap on impacting lives. That is gratification. That is how you take your life and your brand to the next level. Wow.
Impacting the world. The world. If you're not impacting the world, need to reevaluate yourself. You got to find, and I think everyone can actually be a part of that impact. I think everyone has the potential to impact the world. How do you start? Impact your family, impact your community, impact your city, impact your county. You can really impact it. Shayla, we got to get off this thing. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to have you back again. You got some big things coming. And again, I want people to reach out to her. If you haven't followed her on Facebook, she gives daily inspiration. She gives daily, not even inspiration. She even gives kicks in the butt. And I know I got my butt kicked too many times listening to her messages as well. So if you need that swift kick, that swift motivation as well, she will give it to you as well. I want people to realize that, hey, this is not the last you've heard from her. There's some big things coming. So Shayla, again, thank you so much for gracing the AskFaris show. And it has been a pleasure having you on here as well. All right.
I am so privileged to be here. Thank you, Faris.
You are more than welcome. It's our pleasure. All right.
All right.